One of the things that I think about in terms of characters for The Chosen is how do these actors kind of connect with their characters, especially if they maybe don't share the same ideologies or the same thoughts that their character would, or even that the show does, right? One of these conversations was had earlier this week as Dallas talks to the new actor that plays Caiaphas. And this is a really interesting conversation to me, so I wanted to go through it with you guys. Caiaphas, to me, is a character they have to get right. It's similar to Judas. Judas is this, bad character that we have hated for thousands of years, and the church sees him as a one-dimensional betrayer, right? But the truth is, he was a follower of Jesus. He healed people. He cast out demons. Like, he was part of the group. And so if we don't think of Judas in that way, then we're missing a piece of who he was and how we can relate to him and how he can show us what not to do in a lot of ways. So Caiaphas is very similar. Caiaphas is not just an evil person for the sake of being an evil person. There's a reason why he did the things that he did. And so I thought this conversation was very poignant to kind of show us a bit of that and to give us a little bit more perspective about what we should expect from Caiaphas in The Chosen Season 4. So let's jump into this.
Think of Herod Antipas. He married his brother's wife, was also his niece. It's not my kind of guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on Shammai's side on this. He's appalling. You've got to be able to use him.
Yes.
So I wonder what Shammai is going to say about this. John is really the only one that went after Herod for all this kind of evil that he was doing. But Shammai, being the rabbi that was like the head of the school of strictness, right? He would have a big issue with this as well. So it's interesting to hear him talk about Caiaphas, understanding that he would be on Shammai's side on this and understanding where he would land on it in terms of Herod and kind of what's going on there. It's interesting. Hey, real quick, I want to let you guys know something actually crazy. Over half of the people that watch this channel are actually not subscribed. So if you aren't subscribed, go check that for me, and it would really help us out if you could. Thank you so much.
I sometimes have dinner with these people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting point as well. Sometimes he would have dinner with these people because Caiaphas, a lot of people would say that he's a puppet of Rome. But at his core, he was a Jewish person, right? And so while he was a puppet of Rome in many cases, he was put into the position that he was because of his balance that he has there. Because the balance that he has between the Jewish people and the Roman people. And so he has to kind of have this two-faced almost approach to what he thinks about the situation. And now a lot of people have a misunderstanding about who Caiaphas was in general. Again, they kind of put this like, he's just an evil guy. There's nothing that is human about him, when there really is. There really is. And so it's interesting to think about that as well.
But it's not that I like them. And it's really Rome and the rebellion.
He lacks strong moral center because for him it really is it's a negotiation. It's a negotiation. It's
job is to hit. And
it's a numbers game.
Toward God is, don't hit us. I'll give you this.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great representation. Don't hit us. I'll give you this. Don't hit me. Don't harm me. Don't hurt my people. I'll give you what you need. Just leave us alone and let us do what we need to do. He sees himself in that role of he's the mediator between Rome and the Jewish people.
Right. It's very what they call now transactional.
Yeah, exactly. And it's he's just not pure, but he's not.
I'm not pure, so this is
right.
I believe I'm in a world of negotiation.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And Caiaphas thinks of himself as a protector.
That is really interesting. Caiaphas thinks of himself as a protector. This is a really interesting thing. And I think oftentimes we just have this, we either don't know about Caiaphas at all, like we can't picture what he would look like or what he would do, or we kind of fall into this other notion of just saying that he's evil, outright. And that he has no redeemable or understandable qualities. Maybe not redeemable is the right word, but understandable is the right word. To understand him. Because everybody that's in history even people like Hitler or anybody else, they're humans who make decisions for specific reasons, right? Now, a lot of those reasons are unforgivable. A lot of those reasons are just illogical. They don't make sense, and it's interesting to kind of see these characters portrayed on the screen, because while we know that the end of what they decided to do was an evil act, and they lived in that, there's a lot of things surrounding that help to give us more understanding of who they are as people. And so Caiaphas for me is an interesting one that I think is worth exploring. Not to redeem him as a person, or not to be like, oh, Caiaphas was such a good guy, why are you guys hating on him? Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is we need to have a deeper understanding of who these humans are, so that we can understand ourselves better, so that we can understand our leaders better, so that we can understand our pastors and our priests and everything else, like those people that are in our lives that are also human and also make mistakes and also walk through these things. Now, some of them make mistakes to the point of where it's way too late, right, to walk in that and to understand kind of what's going on. And so Caiaphas here, like at this point in the story, he's just figuring out all this kind of stuff. And while he's made many, many mistakes later, it's all going to come to fruition as he kind of goes into, where he's at then. Another interesting thing about Caiaphas, and we'll talk about this as we can kind of continue on, is one of the examples that we have of crucifixion, of people being nailed to a cross, is actually in Caiaphas's tomb. Where the box with his bones in it were found, and he actually has a nail through his heel bone. I believe that's him, at least. And so this is one of the things that we see from Caiaphas as well later on. Possibly he was turned on by Rome and he was taken out as well. So there's a lot of different things that could be happening there too. But yeah, anyway, a lot of interesting things. We'll talk about Caiaphas as it comes up, but season 4 should be interesting, getting to know him a bit in the chosen universe and understanding why he is that he's doing what he's doing, right? Always a very interesting thing for me, for sure. I hope you like this small portion of our 3-hour live stream from this week. If you want to see the full thing, it's up on Patreon at patreon.com/thesnipelife. That's by far the best way to help to support our ministry, so we'd love to see you over there. Just click the link in the description down below, and you can support us for $5, $10, or $25 a month. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.